Hello, Swallowtails. How are you today? Today we're going to continue talking about bugs and we're going to talk about ants. Ants tunnel in the ground and make ant colonies under there, and each ant has its own job. Some ants guard the nest, some take care of the eggs, some go out and get food. They're very organized and they're very good for our garden because they loosen up the dirt. And also, they are very, very strong. They can lift 10 times their size. So even though they're very tiny, for how tiny they are strong. However, we don't always like them to come to our picnics and take our food or come in our house. And I have a book, Henry's Awful Mistake. And if you see right there, there is an ant. And Henry is saying, I don't want ants in my house. Look at all of those ants. Oh my goodness. The day Henry the Duck asked his friend Clara over for supper, he found an ant in the kitchen. Do you see that ant? Right there. He's cooking for his friend Clara. And he saw an ant in his kitchen. Henry was worried that Clara would see the ant. She might think his house was not clean. The ant had to go. Oh, and there it is, that little ant. Henry reached for a can of ant spray, but he didn't want to spray near the food he was cooking, so he chased the ant with a frying pan. There it goes. Oh man, Henry looks angry. Henry ran around the kitchen chasing after the ant, but the ant got away and hid behind the stove. Oh, he chased it all around. Henry took the food he was cooking off the stove. Then he shut off the flame and pulled the stove away from the wall. He saw the ant. The ant saw Henry and ran into a small crack in the wall. Henry went and got a hammer. Do you see that ant going into the crack? Uh-oh. Now Henry's going to get a hammer. Henry pounded a big hole in the wall where the crack was, but he couldn't find the ant. So he kept pounding. Uh-oh. Do you think it's a good idea to put a hole in your wall? The hole got bigger and bigger. At last, Henry saw the ant sitting on a pipe inside the wall. Do you see that ant on the pipe? There he is. I wonder what Henry is going to do. Oh no, Henry aimed the hammer at the ant and missed. The blow of the hammer broke the pipe. And guess what was in the pipe? What do you think is coming out? Water. Water came shooting out of the pipe. Henry couldn't stop it. Oh my goodness, look at it. Just spraying all over his kitchen. Henry grabbed a towel, he tied it around the pipe, and the water stopped shooting out. Oh, good. But look. Henry's soaking wet and his kitchen soaking wet. And look who's still hiding right there. That ant. But Henry hadn't stopped the water soon enough. It had sprayed all over the kitchen. Everything was soaking wet except for Clara's supper. Thank goodness. Ah, thank goodness. Do you see that ant? It's still in there. Henry began mopping up the puddles of water. All at once he slipped and banged against the kitchen table. Everything came crashing down. Henry was covered with pots and pans and food. Oh no, look at that. It all went up in the air and has come crashing down on top of Henry. Oh dear. And I think the dinner's ruined now. The supper was ruined. There was nothing Henry could do now but to call Clara and tell her not to come. Oh dear. Do you still see the ant? He's still there. There's Henry covered with dinner. While Henry was talking on the phone, the towel came loose from the pipe. The water came shooting out and flooded the whole house. Henry was carried right out the front door by the flood. Oh no. Can you find that ant? Do you see it? It's floating out with Henry. There was no going back. Poor Henry's house was washed away by the flood. He saved what he could and moved into a new house. There's a suitcase, and oh no, look who's following him. You think he's going to go to his new house? When Henry was settled in his new house, he again asked Clara over for supper. Just as he went to the door to let Clara in, he saw an ant. Uh-oh. What do you think Henry's going to do? Think he'll get a frying pan or a hammer? He looked the other way. Yep, he let the ant stay there. So I thought it would be fun if you made some ant tunnels, and then you could make some ants in the tunnels with your fingerprints. You could use finger paint and then make the tunnels with your fingers, and then dip your finger and make 3 sections for an ant. And you can draw legs and antenna on it. I hope you have a great day and a great weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday. We don't have school on Friday or Monday. I love you. You take care.